Let's dig into this, guys. How do you see your business plan playing out in 2023? Do you have a business plan for 2023? Some of y'all probably haven't even thought of it, right? What are you actually gonna do this year? Did you set a plan or did you get a plan in motion at the beginning of the year? What are you gonna do for marketing? What are you gonna do for follow-up? What are you gonna do for leadership skill sets? What are you gonna do throughout the year? Or are you just gonna try to figure out as you go throughout your year? So it's a big difference between planning ahead of time and figuring out as we go. The ones that plan, because all success is planned, get to success faster. The ones that do not plan, since all success is planned, they do not become successful at all. Think about what I just said there. It has to be seen in the mind, has to be written down, has to be a plan to be executed efficiently enough to compete against competition out there. Because if you're setting a plan in place and executing on it consistently and efficiently, and you know what everybody else is doing, which is they're winging their business, they're out there just kind of going day to day, and they're running what's called a reactionary business, waiting for a phone call to come in, they react to it. As compared to someone planning their day, they're gonna have that activity at that hour of the day. So when a phone call comes in, they don't answer it, they get to it when they get to the response time, because they're intentful about their day, they're planning their day. It's not rude to not pick up, it's just rude to not call back. The last one right there is you're gonna grow a lot faster if you kill the mindset, meaning putting no negativity into the business. Because when people have negative thoughts, it's called thought occupation. They're focusing on those thoughts at the current moment. And if they're thinking this thought, they can't be thinking this thought. And this is the thought that grows the business. This is the thought that makes the money. This is the thought that does something for a friend or partner. So the goal is to pull the weeds out of the garden, if that makes sense. And so if you can control the negative thought process in your organization, the overall mass consciousness of it's gonna be more positive and it's gonna grow faster. Now, presentation skill sets. Now, just very important to think about this, guys. As you come into the business and as your partners come into the business, anything we start new in life, our excitement's always will be the highest and our skill sets are always gonna be the lowest at that moment. Because when we're starting something new in life, the reason why we're starting is because we're excited about it, right? And as you start anything that's gonna be difficult to do, because everything that worth doing is difficult in life, where excitement kind of gets beat down, if that makes sense, as we go through it, and our skill sets are the lowest when we start, but as our excitement drops, our skill sets increase, if that makes sense. But if you're doing it correctly, right? Gene Frederick right there, his famous saying is it's all about the FU. It's a little bit of a noxious way of talking about follow-up, meaning just trying to remind you guys how important follow-up is. And he was at an event and there's like 5,000 people at this event, and he asked people, raise your hand if you joined the first week, the first month, after 6 months, or after a year. And it was like 70% of people joined eXp 6 months after their first exposure. So just think about that, guys. If you didn't join right away, and a lot of people didn't join right away, and you're pressing people to join immediately, could you be pressing too hard? And 6 months blows by quickly. So instead of pushing people too hard, build a pipeline so that in 6 months, all these people start closing. Identify the ones that are likely to move now, and the ones that you don't think are going to move now, don't push too hard, because if you see right there in the middle, if you press too hard, you're going to push them away. But if you do not press hard enough, then they will go and slip away. It's a big difference, right? So it's kind of like courting or dancing. Like say you're like a high school social, and you see people like stiff arming it, dancing too far away. Also, guys standing up on the girl's toes, right? You want to have a nice middle ground of where you're not making the other person feel uncomfortable, but also being too passive, because they will slip away or someone else will sponsor them. So how do we increase momentum and a fast start, but also avoid quick attrition? So if you guys have quick attrition in your business, meaning people came over and they left right away, almost every time it was a dropping of expectations, or you massively overpromised something and you made them think that they're gonna get this, and they came over and they got like this in comparison, if that makes sense. So step one for onboarding. This is you need to go through each of these 3 steps with every partner to have the best understanding of how we can help these partners the most and how we can help them come in with the most excitement, the most momentum. So the first one is we always ask our partner what they're gonna expect from us. Now, look down there at the bottom. If you do not set expectations with your partners, then what's gonna happen? They will set them for you, and they will set them unfairly and unjust without asking, right? So basically they're gonna create this massive expectation in their mind that you're gonna change their oil, brush their teeth for them, you're gonna generate the leads, work the leads, and do everything, and they're gonna get the check in the back office, right? Just kidding, but not really for some people. They literally think you're gonna start their business, build their business, and cash the checks for them. So if you do not have an expectation call where they know what you're gonna be doing as far as what you have the ability to do for them and what you will do for them, they're gonna set those expectations on you, and it's always more than what we expected. And then when you do not fulfill those expectations that they put unfairly on you, you're the bad guy, right? You're the one that let them down. So it's very important so you don't run into this in the future at the current present moment when they come in, what do you expect from me? Do you expect me to do this or to do this? Do you be on calls? Do you expect me to teach you how to do production? Do you expect me to teach you how to do agent traction? Because each one of you is going to work differently with your partners, right? And then also let them know what you expect from them. Okay, it's very important to understand. You need to guard your time in the future. Hey, John, I'm willing to go run 1,000,000 miles an hour with you and swing for the fences with you and do everything I can to help you become successful. But there's risk of my time. I'm a busy man. I need to make sure that if I'm going to put time into you, that you're going to, reinforce and put the time back in at the same level. So I'm willing to help you like this. I'm willing to help you here. I'm willing to do this type of stuff with you, but it's in direct relationship to the efforts that you're putting in. If you're hopping on mastermind calls, if you're, doing the things that we talk about, and I can see that you're serious, I will put this in exchange for you putting this in, if that makes sense. So now everybody's kind of got an idea of what roles are being played. And the last one is, what do you expect from their career here at eXp or even the Wolfpack, right? So now we know their goals. We know what they're trying to accomplish, because what if their goal is, well, I expect to hit icon status every year going forward. Oh, you don't want to build rev share? No, that's not what I'm here for. I just want to sell houses. Okay, cool. Let's see how we can help you hit icon status, if that makes sense. Okay, well, what are your expectations from eXp? Well, I came here to build rev share. I don't ever want to sell a house. Okay, well then what's a house? Let's get some rev share, right? Obviously. But the point is, we need to know what their goals are, and we need to know what their goals are for us helping them, and also what on the flip side. Okay, otherwise you're going to have communication breakdowns and some issues in the future with certain people. As you become a leader, people come to you with all sorts of issues, not just in the business. And the difference on how you treat people on extended hours and on serious problems is the difference on how the culture grows within the business and how they also have respect for you. And so a lot of these calls that you guys don't get to see that I've taken at like 1 or 2 in the morning when people are melting down are some of the biggest reasons that this business that we had here, now that we see it as growing, did not fall apart and collapse when it was small. Because we had some major issues when we were small, some people trying to leave and all sorts of stuff because of like mindset issues and things like that. And I was able to help them through it. And now many of them have become very successful. So it's our job as a leader to help people work through their problems so they can see the better person that they're going to become in the future, instead of dwelling in their problems and sacrificing that future that they could have had, if that makes sense. Podcasting. This is a big one. Some of you guys know we filmed some podcasts. I'm going to be relaunching a podcast. We've already filmed quite a bit of them. Some of you guys have been on it, and I'm going to be getting many of you on here as well. So you should be expecting that. So once I have about 30 of them, we got a decent amount of them filmed already. We're going to launch the new channel. But I went back in 2018, 2019 when I built one of my other channels to about 40,000 subscribers. And the biggest contributing factor to that was podcasting, without a doubt, that I now figured out. Also, podcasting is where you're going to be able to attract the most successful agents. And some of you guys know, Mike Gerard, obviously #1 in the company. We became partners through podcasting, right? So that right there is enough reason to do it. It brings no more person in the world to the company. There's a lot of big people that came to the company from podcasting, because what it does is it gives you the ability to reach out to busy people from a completely different angle than, hey, can I get something from you? Hey, can you come work with me, right? And how do I make money from you? That's kind of the approach what it feels like when we're ever being sold or recruited, right? Now with podcasts, I'm giving value. Hey, what's up, James? You want to come on my podcast and I can get you in front of a whole bunch of people? I'm giving them attention. I'm giving them potential followers, right? So it's going to give you a different angle. And then also they're going to usually invite you back. And so the worst thing that happens is you get a really big time player on your call, which gets good content for you. They ask you back on their call, you get on their call, you're going to get in front of the audience, you're going to grow your social media. And that's like the worst thing that happens. Best thing that happens is they come on over here and work with you, right? So it's a great thing to think about if you guys are going to do it.